Hello, my name is Trevor Clark. I'm doing my final speech on gun control or school shootings in America. And my thesis is today I will persuade you that trained professionals with firearms should be implemented in schools across the nation. The first main point that I have is the history of school shootings slash incidents that have happened in the last 2 centuries. Um, The second point is looking at what may be causing it to happen. And the third point is looking to see if or what anything can be done to stop this from happening. Um, the first source that I have is from Washington, D.C. ABC News Source. It's an article written by Michael S. Rosenwald, who was an associate of the Washington Post. And it looks like it was written on April 29th of 2018. And this source is just talking about um, the first school shooting that was recorded in Charlottesville, and it was apparently between a student and his professor, and the student ended up shooting his professor and killing him. Now, the next source that I have is about an incident called the Bath School bombing, and it's actually the deadliest school massacre that's recorded in American history. Um, and the third source, oh, this source is from Smithsonian, and it was written by Lorraine Buisenalt and on May 18th, 2017. And the third one, related to my first point, is from history, and it's about the Virginia Tech shooting. And this has been updated last on August 21st of 2018. Publisher, it says, is A&E Television Networks, documentaries, and it looks like Access. Oh, never mind. So those topics are all just relating to the history part um, of school shootings. And the next point that I have is, um, or the next source that I have is an article that I chose that is from Fortune, and it's an article that goes against exactly what I'm arguing for. It's why armed guards at schools won't work is the title. It's by Clifton Leaf. He wrote it on February 22nd of 2018. The reason that I included this article was just to possibly have something to debate or something that's directly opposing my view that I may be able to cite as a part of my persuasion into why it should be, if there's something there that I can possibly break down. Um, the one example that I found throughout the article is that the author compares school shootings to bank robberies, and saying that bank robberies, the article states that banks hardly use armed guards anymore, despite virtually every bank robbery movie you've ever seen. Most banks and bank branches are guardless nearly all the time. We can see that from looking at one key subset of banks, those that have been robbed. In 2016, there were 3,733 commercial bank robberies, according to the FBI. So they're citing the government statistics. Um, and so it's saying that when armed guards are present, that there is more of a likelihood of firing a weapon or the injury of a customer or an employee, and the difference is about 8%. And the reason that I stuck with this source is because my thought line was that if someone is going to a bank with a gun, their intent is not to harm people. That's not what their goal is. They're only, obviously, if there's someone there to defend them, there is more likely to be shots fired, and that's going to happen. But when you're talking about schools, usually I can imagine a person going to the school is not going there expecting to come out alive. And they're not going there to get money. They're going there to do as much harm as possible in the shortest amount of time. The next source that I have is really, it's just a data table for me. It's the Department of Justice, criminal justice information, and it's murder by states and types of weapons and stuff throughout the nation, just kind of showing a breakdown of actual hard numbers. And I had a source, I don't know what happened to it, but there was a source that was supposed to be showing the like a chart and a table of school shootings where more than, I think it was 3 or 4 people died. I'll have to look for it. I don't have that source anymore, but I remember seeing it. I must have just forgotten to include it. But it was showing that school shootings are, in fact, on the rise. And then the next source that I have is an NPR source that was written on March 15th of 2018 by Martin Kast. And he is arguing against the notion that school shootings are, they're obviously a problem. It seems to be that school shootings are on the rise, and his argument is that that's not the case. So my points in the body of my speech are trends in school shooting. They're on the rise. The first recorded school shooting, the worst one, the deadliest one, and then probably have to find that that other source that had my data showing that school shootings are on the rise. And then my next point in the body is, what are some of the reasons for mass shooting, school shootings in current times, possibly touching on mental health, the glorification of media, and cultural, societal issues or changes that may be affecting the, society, the psyche. And what are some solutions that we can examine to deter school shootings in the future? Armed guards in schools, metal detectors, decreasing or demonizing the media coverage, and it starts at home. Maybe, depending on time constraints and where I'm at in my speech, looking into some particular ones and seeing what possibly the home life was like, and things that may have been able to be done at home or out before it happened.